Featherweight Championship on the line this weekend. Challenging is Megan Anderson against the champion, Amanda Nunes, the most definite female GOAT, and maybe even just the GOAT, period, regardless of gender. We can talk a little bit about that later. First, let's just talk about this matchup. I don't think anyone's giving Megan Anderson much hope for this fight. I'm kind of hearing from the way she's talking, I don't think even she has that hope. But, so what does Megan Anderson bring to the table? What's going to get her the victory? What's giving her the edge? Out the gate, you could say she's got the height, she's got the reach advantage. Is that gonna matter against someone of the caliber of Amanda Nunes? Has Amanda Nunes fought someone this tall before? No. But I don't think it's gonna be a factor. I think Amanda Nunes is a queen at range. She just fucking, the way she throws her punches, they kind of come over the top a little bit. Super accurate. She knows her range. I don't think Megan Anderson is going to keep Nunes at range with her height. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think Amanda Nunes is going to know where to be, to not get hit, and to hit Megan Anderson. She's just shown that ability over and over again. Let's talk about what else Megan can do. Megan needs to take Amanda Nunes down. That has to be her number one priority. Traditionally, it's harder for the taller person to take the shorter person down. The shorter person has the lower center of gravity. So it's not going to be easy for Megan to take Nunes down. With that being said, Amanda Nunes' takedown defense is over 80%. Another area of the fight where I just do not even see this as an option for her. I mean, of course anything can happen. I mean, I guess Megan's had she's had 2 submission victories in the UFC and then 1 knockout. So she can accomplish. You know, she can accomplish this. Is she going to? No, I don't think she is. Amanda Nunes is just too good. You could say Amanda Nunes is the female GOAT, and that's what everyone says, but it's interesting that no one's bringing her up in the discussion for actually being the GOAT. Comparing her to male fighters. And maybe people are shy to say that because there really isn't that big of a pool of talented girls that you could just throw in there with Amanda Nunes. I mean, it feels like they could go find really talented girls to fight her, but you need a little bit of star power to get these fight cards going. So they just kind of having to feed her the next star, and Megan Anderson is that girl, and she's going to have nothing for Amanda Nunes, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions too. So what do? You know, as an organization when you have this type of situation? But going back to talking about being the greatest of all time in women's fighting, is that all she is, or is she something more than that? Is she the GOAT overall? People will still say John Jones is the GOAT overall, but come on, he's a cheater. I'll never consider John Jones in the running because he cheated. And you could argue with me and say that, oh, well, you know, taking supplements and getting pills and blah, 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 blah. Get the fuck out of here with that. You fucking cheated. As far as I know, Amanda Nunes has never popped for anything. And she puts on weight the appropriate way for fighting in 2 divisions. When she fights at bantamweight, she looks like she's in great shape. She's not overly muscular. So her cardio, seems to hold up a pace. I remember earlier on in her career she had some issues with her cardio. Not really anymore. When she keep that up. You know, if she wanted to cement her legacy and do this for a long time. So she's doing it the right way. She's putting on fat, you know, but not, you know, too much fat to get up there to 145 to fight taller girls, bigger girls like Megan and Cyborg. So this is another factor that lends herself to being in the consideration for being the overall GOAT, is which other fighter is handily defending 2 weight divisions? No one. I mean, you could say that Daniel Cormier was doing that, but not when John Jones came back to fight. Then that wasn't a realistic opportunity for Daniel Cormier, because Jones and all of his cheating ways just had Cormier's number. It was always that way. On the flip side, to my point about Amanda Nunes being the GOAT because she can defend so successfully in 2 different weight classes and knows how to do it with weight and whatnot. The flip side to that is what I said earlier, is are there enough talented girls in these divisions to step up to someone like Amanda Nunes, and is that why she's being so dominant, because the competition is so far away from her? Maybe there is some of that going on, but I don't want to take too much away from everybody else in the division too. These girls are talented. I mean, they're still fighting in the UFC. They still got there because they deserved it. They're tough motherfucking girls fighting. You can't take away from them and say that there isn't a big pool of talent for Amanda Nunes to fight. It's just not as obvious as in a lot of the male divisions. Just entrenched in the culture, just how things are. But yeah, I don't see this fight for Megan Anderson. You know, I guess lightning could strike and she could shock the world, much like Holly Holm shocked the world when Ronda Rousey was sort of running things and no one thought she could ever be beaten. So, you know, lightning could strike. But if I was a betting man, if I had to pick, this is going to be, I'm going to say KO round 1, Amanda Nunes. Alright, that's what I got. Let me know what you think in the comments. How's this one going to go down? Alright.